And so, but he was a really, really, really good baby. Like, we're talking about 6 weeks old. He was sleeping 5 and 6 hours at a time. And so by the time I went back from maternity leave at 12 weeks, he was giving me solid 7-hour stretches. And so I was like, high five, baby, right? Yeah. The dilemma to that was when I went back to work, people, of course, greeted you, and, oh, how are you doing? Welcome back. Oh, your baby's so cute. And then quickly, oh, is the baby not sleeping? No, he's sleeping okay, was kind of my response. They're like, oh, you must be a nervous new mama because it's your first baby, or you just staying up watching him? No, he's staying in his room too. I'm not watching that baby. And so I distinctly remember, it was my second Tuesday back to work, and what happened was 5 times people stopped me before 10 a.m. I was in meetings, I was a director of rehab, and so 5 people stopped me and made a comment basically about how tired and haggard I looked. And so I was like, I must be from The Walking Dead and scaring people to death. I'm going to go beat my head in the wall. So after that meeting, I ran to my office. I shut the door, kind of sat there for a moment and said, why do I look so terrible? And I even had makeup on that day, was the irony of the situation. So it wasn't like the whole top knot bun, no makeup, anything. I actually had gotten ready. And they stopped me, so I sent my friend Charlie Korn a message. And I said, hey girl, and she's a Texas country singer-songwriter. She's a DJ up in Fort Worth, and so she's got that good old twang, and it's super, super sweet. And I said, apparently something is really, really wrong with me. I have fair complexion, freckles, I have some zombie eyes that I need to get rid of. What do I need to do? Because something needs to be fixed, obviously. So she sent me a message back and said, hey, this is what I think you need to start with. Here's my website. You can go purchase the products there. Well, common sense would say, we'll buy the products, right? Well, I'm a little stubborn, so I did not do that. I actually didn't even really go to the website. I clicked on it, then I went and ran and saw a patient, and that was kind of the end of it. A week later, Charlotte emailed me again and said, hey, did you get a chance to look at those products? And I ignored her again because I'm pretty stubborn and wanted to do a little research. Well, in the meantime, some life events kind of happened, and my father had passed away, and so back burner things happened, moved on. But over the next 10 months, what I did, it wasn't that I wasn't interested in the product. I started paying even more attention. So then I was looking at the before and after photos. And then I was seeing business testimonies about these ladies are retiring from being doctors, or now stay-at-home moms, or a bigger breadwinner than the husbands. And I was like, what is this? There's something to this. And I didn't jump on board then either because I'm very OCD and I'm very research oriented and I want to be number one and I want to find the catches and the tricks because there's got to be a catch and a trick to everything, right? That's what you really think. And so when I say I compared it to everything under the sun, and it wasn't that I cared about selling Stella and Doc or cared about Avon or cared about Mary Kay or cared about Miriam or cared about Pampered Chef. It wasn't any of that, but I wanted to know the direct selling market. How does this work? Because I didn't have an interest in it per se, but I wanted to know what are the catches, are there inventory, are there quotas, what are the requirements? Do you have to have parties? And the thing was all these other companies had some catch that you could immediately find, and Rodan and Fields didn't. It didn't have inventory requirements, it didn't have sales requirements, it didn't have a quota to keep your consultantship. You could still retain a higher discount even if you just wanted the product. You're not going to be kicked out. You didn't have to have parties or lie about having parties like some people did to actually keep their consultants. And you didn't have this back order stockpiled with inventory that you were going to be delivering to people and then collecting money. And so there weren't the catches there that I thought that were glaringly obvious. But one study I came across really kind of shifted my whole perspective on Rodan and Fields and those things, because at the time I had a good job, my husband had a very good job, so I didn't necessarily have this overwhelming looming need for income, but I had student loans from graduate school that still haunted me, even though I doubled them. And so we had these aspirations of build the big huge house and take the crazy vacations and whatever it was, or me maybe go part-time and all these things, and it wasn't a viable option. So I was like, well, this could have something to it. And this study that I found was by Harvard Business School, and Rodan and Fields did not pay for it. It wasn't even necessarily directly related about Rodan and Fields, but what it was about the direct selling industry. And there were 3 criteria that they said this would be a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence that you needed to jump on. Number 1, is the company 18 months or older? Well, in fact, Rodan & Fields has been established since 2002, and it's debt-free. They don't owe any money to anything. There's no overhead for them to carry. Number 2, is the product consumable? Yep, we have a consumable product. You wash your face, you rinse it down the drain, you love the results, you want more. So it's definitely a return purchase. versus how many Pampered Chef spoons can you buy, or how many Stella & Dot bags or necklaces and 31 bags. We can all have a couple, but at the end of the day, it's something that it's not going to rotate through and that you're going to need the products over and over again. The third one was the one that really kind of stopped me in my tracks and really made me think really hard. It said if there are less than 100,000 consultants in the company at the time you're ready to sign up, it is a once-in-a-lifetime investment. The market is not saturated. It is your opportunity to really make some money off of the business. And in fact, Rodan & Fields is still underneath 100,000 consultants in the entire company, whereas Avon has 6 million, Mary Kay has 4 million, Miriam and Arbonne have like 2.5 million, Stella & Dot, all these other ones, 1 million. So it's pretty saturated. You either know somebody that sold it before or currently sells it, or somebody's neighbor. Like it's out there in the public and readily available, whereas Rodan & Fields is still relatively new to the market. So the fact that it wasn't saturated and we haven't even gone global, we now have launched into Canada in 2015. So we are officially global by 2 countries. And this fall, we're going into Australia. Could you imagine being the first people in Australia to get to distribute this and then it's all underneath you? That's quite something to think about. And then they're going to go global, just like they did with Proactive. So you're like, how does Rodan & Fields relate to Proactive? Well, Dr. Rodan and Dr. Fields are 2 Stanford-trained dermatologists that met back in school 25, 30 years ago at Stanford, and then hit it off, became best friends, decided to open a practice together, and that's what they did. But then at the time, acne was a huge thing in the market. All you had really was spot treatments, Clearasil, dry it off, but there weren't like a full regimen to really address it and get rid of it and clear it up. So they went to clinical trial. They are the makers of Proactive. So everybody's heard of Proactive, right? So what they did with Proactive, they needed to get it to the market after they created it. So they went and started having meetings with big companies. One of them was Neutrogena, and they met with a lady named Lori Bush, and she was the vice president of sales and marketing, and some other gentlemen, and they did their pitch for Proactive. And the conclusion that was come to is they thought it was a great product. It wasn't that they doubted its ability to do, but they couldn't understand, Lori and the gentleman couldn't understand how it was going to sit on the shelf next at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, and sell next to Clearasil at the time, which was the name brand on the market. That was $2.50 for a bottle that you could spot treat. And how are you going to, these multiple bottles, multi-step regimens, how are you going to explain to the consumer how to use that? Because at the time, that hadn't been created, this multi-step approach to treating any kind of skincare concern. And so they kindly passed, Lori did, and she said, but I wish y'all all the luck in the world. And in passing, somebody said to the ladies, but y'all are really smart and brilliant and funny and really, are people-oriented. You need to get in front of people. Do y'all know anybody in TV? And something clicked in one of the doctor's heads, and one of the doctor's mothers knew somebody in the infomercial industry, which at the time, back in the 90s, basically you had Ron Popeil, the potato peelers, or you had Suzanne Summers and the Thigh Master, right? Not a lot of credibility in infomercials, but they decided to take a risk and try to do it that way. Well, the rest is history now with Proactive, right? It's in 119 countries. It's a billion-dollar company. Every celebrity and star has endorsed it, or used it to some capacity, and so it's a household name. It actually occupies and dominates 84% of the acne industry, and that's including from dermatologist's office. So they have like a market share on that. And so what they did, everybody grew up from the 90s, and we no longer have teenage acne and angst and listening to Nirvana or Madonna, but we did grow up, and now we have sun damage or melasma or hypersensitive skin or the dreaded wrinkles that are starting to show up. And so they were having people come to their offices to ask about these problems. And so they decided, I'm going to go back to clinical trial, and we're going to create regimens that are multi-step again, that are going to address these skincare issues. And so that's exactly what they did, and they created Rodan & Fields. Here's a really fun fact, though. Lori Bush, the one that decided to pass with Neutrogena on Proactive, she said, if I ever get the opportunity to work with these 2 ladies again, because I believe in them and I believe in their products, I'm going to jump on it. So in 2002, when Rodan & Fields was launched, guess who became our CEO and is still our acting CEO today? Lori Bush. So she left Neutrogena high and dry and came and joined us because she believed in the product so much, and the doctors. And so what they did is they created these different regimens to address skincare concerns. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about the products now. The first one that I like to talk about is Soothe, and it's our green line. And what it is for is it's for Really, really sensitive skin. So think redness, irritation, irritability, rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, these kind of concerns that people have. What I like to compare it to, just for people that need to, is think of when you're younger, you build a house, and your skin is the house. You have a lipid barrier. So you have bricks and mortar, and everything's really, really tight in the bricks and mortar. When the house ages, the foundation shifts, and you get some cracks. If you don't fill in the cracks and get a contractor to do it, the environment can get into your house and really mess it up. Well, this is what happens to your lipid barrier. It can be disrupted, and then you have cracks, and the environment can get in and irritate your skin. And that's where you have people that have really, really irritated skin, redness, and even kids can have a really fine lipid barrier. And you see children that suffer from psoriasis and eczema. And a girl that's on our team, she's a mama, and she had a 4-year-old little boy, and his eczema was so severe that they had to go to the dermatologist for it. And the only solution the dermatologist, because they had topicals and antibiotics, and you name it, they had tried it, were medicated bleach baths. And so this was a 2-hour, and I did wound care as a physical therapist, so I understand the concept of this. You had to sit the kid in the bath, you had to scrub them down, you then had to do get them out of the bath, you had to do wet gauze dressings, you had to do dry gauze dressings, then you had to put PJs on, then you had to do dressings on the hands and socks. So it was a 2-hour battle. Can you imagine that mom's life and that child's life? A 2-hour battle every night of basically you feel like you're torturing your child, but if you don't do it, they're going to get infections in their skin. So she was at wit's end. One of her friends just happened to be selling Rodana pills, and she said, I'll give it a try. What the heck? After 2 weeks of using Soothe, he has never had to have a bleach bath again. So that's more than just skincare and caring about getting rid of some wrinkles. That's changing a family's life. And so even though this is the least medicated of all 4 of the regimens, it has some of the most impactful results. Even such that I actually use this on my not 2-year-old that I told you about. When we were in the parade the other day at the Fort Worth Stock Show Rodeo, and of course afterwards it was drizzling, rainy, and sleet, dry, cracked cheeks, really, really painful. Put Soothe on him before he went to bed, woke up, no red, dry cracks. I mean, it is that good. So it's like a medicine cabinet staple. It's even good enough to treat sunburns. After you really, really blistered, put this on at night, after a couple of applications, and it removes all that redness and heat. So it's a must-have. Open it up, and you're going to use it more than you could ever imagine. And I didn't realize that when I first got my kit. So it's really a fun one to use that I didn't anticipate. The next one is Unblemished, which is the purple line at the back. And everybody's like, whoa, why do they need Unblemished? They already have Proactive, right? Well, Proactive is salicylic acid based, and so it can be a little harsh on the skin. It can be very drying, or some people can't tolerate it at all, or even, as one of my friends did as a teenager, she used it. After about 6 months to a year, her skin acclimated to it, and so it didn't work anymore for her. Well, the difference between Proactive, I call Unblemished Proactive 2.0, and it's like the big sister of Proactive because it is sulfur-based. And so 95% of people that use Unblemished can tolerate it. It's gentle on the skin, and sulfur draws out the impurities of the skin, and then it actually treats it and gets rid of that acne. One of my really good friends, her name is April. She was actually the first girl to join my team, and the reason she joined, she was first a preferred customer and just used the products that I'm going to try out. Well, I didn't believe her when she said she wanted Unblemished. She's gorgeous, she does beautiful makeup, and I said, you don't need Unblemished? She said, yes, I do. No, I don't. And so this back and forth battle of me. I was like, no. She sent me a picture that night of her without any makeup on, and sure enough, all along hormonal acne, all along her jawline and down the neck. And I said, I never would have known. She said, when I was 15 years old, my acne was so severe, went to the dermatologist, we put on prescriptions, topicals, anything you can name it. Even they wanted birth control. They wanted to put her on Accutane, and that's where her and her mom drew the line in the sand because, you know, it can cause birth defects, it can cause really harmful side effects to you. And so it was like, since that's when she learned to start doing wonderful makeup. So she's always been able to hide her acne. And even Proactive would work for her shortly, and then even though she kept using it, it wouldn't work for her. So she just thought it was something she was going to live with. She tried Unblemished. After 2.5 weeks of Unblemished, she had no more breakouts, nothing on her jawline, and she said, there's something to this. What is this stuff? And I'm going to do it too. And so now she is a successful consultant on our team as well. So Unblemished is really, really a wonderful product. The next one is Reverse, and it's kind of my love child and close to my heart because it's what I started with. Because unfortunately, as I started looking in the mirror at those zombie eyes, then I got a little closer and I found wrinkles. And then all of a sudden, my cute little freckles that I had when I was younger were no longer cute freckles. They were blobs on my face. And then all of a sudden, I noticed this sun stash that I had. I was like, what is this? Oh my gosh. Well, it was melasma. But I kindly say it wasn't from the sun. It was from my son, and it was such one of those wonderful gifts he gave me, along with a little bit of this. So that's what he gave me. So I wanted to get rid of that. I wasn't going to get rid of him though. So what reverse is for? It's for any kind of sun damage, melasma, hyperpigmentation, age spots. And so that's what I started with. And after 4 uses of it, not only did my skin feel different, I could see a difference. I was like, how is this stuff working? But I was fearful that it would get rid of my freckles, because even though I wanted to get rid of my freckles when I was a teenager and did everything in the world, you know, baby oil, iodine, tinfoil towels, because I was going to blend my freckles together and be a golden goddess. That did not work. And because of that, now I have this uneven skin, but I was able to reverse all that sun damage. But my original cute little freckles that were there, I still have my freckles there, so it didn't erase my freckles. If you have more stubborn age spots and dark spots that have been there with time, what you can do with reverse, there's something called an accelerator pack. It doesn't cost any different. What you do is you just substitute out step 2 and 3, this toner and vitamin C retinol combination, with the hydroquinone in a different toner. And so that's what's going to treat things a little more aggressively to really get rid of those dark spots. So that is our reverse line. And then the granddaddy of them all is Redefine, that everybody wants to graduate to and do. It's our anti-aging line. And we even have some girls in college that are using it now, because the best wrinkle is one you never get, right? So preventative maintenance is definitely key. And what this does is for loss of firmness, fine lines and wrinkles, loss of elasticity, the appearance of large pores. And so the result of this is so dramatic. So I am now using Redefine, and sometimes because I'm still a sucker for the way reverse feels, I'll sometimes use reverse. So those are the 2 regimens that I use, and I no longer have the crow's feet that we're starting, and my laugh lines and smile lines have almost completely gone away just because of using Redefine. So those are our 4 main regimens. There are some tools that the doctors created to be used in combination with some of the regimens that make your products work even better. And the first one is our AMP MD roller. And so I'm going to let you pass around, but I'm going to ask you not to touch it because it goes on Jennifer's face, and so I'm kind of a...
You want to touch it, it's okay.
Well, and she can, Sarah, if she gives you permission, you can touch it. So now that she says that, this has 200 stainless steel needles. That sounds really scary, right? Like, why would you put that on your face? No. It doesn't make you bleed. It doesn't hurt at all. It's called, has anybody heard of microneedling? So you go to a spa and esthetician.
Or
and
plastic surgeons
yes,
and dermatologists
yes,
are doing it medical grade. Their needles are longer.
Or much, much longer, and they have to be highly skilled and trained to do that. And they can only do that once every 8 weeks, because if they penetrate it too deep, then they're going to cause harm to the skin. Well, this is patented for home use and can be used 5 days a week. Well, everybody's like, what is microneedling really for? Well, unfortunately, after the age of 30, something called collagen, which keeps your skin nice and firm and plump and looking like a baby's bottom, starts to go away on you. And there's no way to reproduce it or to increase the production of collagen. And actually, every decade you go, your collagen production drops more and more and more. And that's why you get fine lines and wrinkles and saggy skin. And we age. Well, we want to combat that and age gracefully, because nobody really wants fine lines, wrinkles, and I don't really want to go to a plastic surgeon until maybe I have to one day. But if I can avoid all of that, then that's what I'm going to do. And so what this does is, the only way to increase your collagen production is like when you get a little cut on your wrist or something. Well, your brain sends a signal, say, oh, I got to heal that. Well, what it does is it lays down a collagen and fibrinogen matrix in the wound bed, and that's what heals your cuts. And so this is exactly what the signal is being sent to your brain when you roll your face, and you do it in combination with your regimen. So you'll wash your face with step 1, you'll use your toner, you'll roll your face for like 60 seconds along with your neck. It's really, really quick, it's not painful. And then you put on the capsules, they're little blue capsules, and it's not renewing serum, it's retinol and vitamins and peptides in it, and that is what's going to work. So what it does, the collagen lays down at those micro traumas you just needled your face with, and it sends collagen, so it plumps up the skin and fills that wrinkle in. People that roll even for a week see a difference. And people that roll for a month, or multiple months, or a year, your skin transforms. So this is probably my absolute favorite.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
My testimonial is that I have gotten Botox before, but I haven't gotten it in a really long time. And my mom asked me after I started using that, she's like, "Have you gotten Botox again?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." but it's just,
Yeah.
it's the roller. I
Mhm.
love that thing.
And I had a horrible acne scar and like severe pot marks from a horrible teenage acne, and I mean, like, my before and after photos are really amazing. After about 3 weeks of using the roller, all my pot marks are essentially gone.
So not only does it work with wrinkles and fine lines, but people that have severe scars, whether it's from acne or an injury, or there are people that have had to undergo reconstruction and radiation, or have, you know, skin cancer removed, and so they have these marks on their face. You can actually use the roller in combination with some products, and it's going to help remove that scar because it lays new collagen on top of that scar and reduces that scar. So there's some fantastic results. This roller does more than just get rid of the wrinkle. It is absolutely phenomenal. The next tool that we have that I really like, and I was scared of it at first, and I don't know why. It's called our macro vision. So I'm going to turn it on and let y'all pass it around. But how many of y'all have been to a spa and gotten a spa grade facial? And I don't mean like the steam bath and it just feels good. The one where you go get a dermabrasion where they either with a diamond tip head or with the crystal tip head, and they basically sandblast and abrade your face and then suck it all off with a vacuum, right? Well, you're going to leave there. Your skin's going to be really tight like this. But you're also going to be red, and they're going to tell you, well, for 10 to 14 days, you have to stay out of the sun, don't put makeup on, and basically have a baseball cap in your house. Well, I don't have 2 weeks to do that. And not only to mention that, it takes 8 more weeks before you can go back and get another one of those. What this is a macro exfoliator. If you take that little bitty cap off, it's a diamond tip head, and so it abrades your face. It's got a vacuum suction. If you turn it on, the doctor's pre-programmed it where it actually tells you what to do. You saw that little face on it, so it says start with your cheeks. It's timed. It's got a suction that's meant for that part of your skin. It sucks off dead skin cells when we go to forehead, temples, cheeks, nose, and then neck. What it does is it takes off 5 million dead skin cells from your face a week. And so you can only imagine the clinical results are using these tools in conjunction with your regimen, 58% better results, because basically what you're doing is I liken it to yard maintenance. Well, in the fall, we have all these dead leaves, or in the spring when it's time to start fertilizing, all these dead leaves and things on. If you try to put the fertilizer on top of the dead leaves, it's not going to work as well. So if you're taking off all those dead leaves or all the dead skin, then you're automatically working on new healthy skin for your products to be that much more effective. And this is just like, I like to say, aerating your yard. So you're causing little bitty holes in your yard, so to speak, and then you're able to fertilize it even better for your products to work better. So those are two of the products that work, the tools that work really well. There's one other one that I'm highly impressed with. It's in here. I'm not going to open it for her because that's her sample pack. But what it is, there are two, it looks like Band-Aids of sorts. And what it's called is it's called acute care strips. Everybody's heard of Juvederm and Restylane. So Botox freezes the muscle, and that's why you can't get the wrinkle. But Juvederm and Restylane actually is injected in the wrinkle, whether it's your smile line or crow's feet or wherever you're wanting to not have a wrinkle. But they put this little bitty bead of hyaluronic acid and peptides in there. And you can actually like feel the bead underneath your skin, and it plumps out the wrinkle. The dilemma is you have to go to a dermatologist or somebody that's trained to inject a needle into your face. You may have a reaction. You're paying a really large amount out of pocket. And for me, I'd have to take off work to go get all that done. So like all the combinations, not to mention a needle in my face, which really kind of was the stop moment for me, was kind of a no-go for me. But these acute care strips, what they are is I basically call them liquid Band-Aids. It looks like a Band-Aid, and it's got 125 cones. It looks like a little upside down pyramid if you can hold it up in the light. And what it does, you put that on whatever wrinkle you're wanting to address before you go to bed. You kind of firmly press it in to adhere to your skin. And there are only 2 ingredients in that liquid Band-Aid: hyaluronic acid and peptides. So it's the exact same thing that they're injecting in your face, but you don't have to get an injection. It's heat activated, so it melts into your skin while you're asleep. And hyaluronic acid can actually hold its weight in water 100 times. So good for us, we're 90% water, our bodies are. And so what it does is it soaks into that wrinkle bed, it grabs the water molecule inside that wrinkle, and it pulls the wrinkle out. It's pretty fantastic technology. So a box of acute care, they come in pairs, and you get 10 pairs. And so you use it 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday. So just shy of a month. and you're going to fill that wrinkle while you sleep. The results last just as long as those injectable fillers, except you got to do it while you sleep from the convenience of your own home, and you don't have to have a needle stuck in your head. And here's the kicker. Here's another thing. You can only go get those injectable fillers every 12 weeks or greater after the wrinkle has come back. You can actually do maintenance with this, and you can just put one strip on a week, and that wrinkle is going to stay filled. So it's really, really neat. Nobody else has this patented technology in the U.S.
How much is that?
A box of acute care is $220, which is way cheaper than going to get Juvederm.
Yes, because I have had it.
So it's wonderful for all those wrinkles you want to get rid of. So those are the basic product lines, but then we really love accessories, right? Earrings and scarves and shoes, and so I talk about the fun stuff, but I probably get more excited about this stuff than I do the others. So there are a couple of things that I absolutely have to talk about that I can't live without, and one of them is called our eye cream. So this little thing, which is probably the smallest thing in our entire company, is one of my absolute favorite things because I had the puppy zombie eyes with the wrinkles that scared everybody to death. So honestly, this is what led me to Rodan and Fields, ironically enough. This little jar of eye cream, which I call eye crack lovingly because I'm addicted to it. It's actually sold out 2 times in 2015, and they go back to the distributors and ramp up production, and it still sells out, and it wins awards, and everybody has it. So I have multiple eye cracks stockpiled at my house for when we run out next time, because I'm like, not my problem. I still have my eye crack. So, and that has gotten rid of my dark circles and the puffy eyes, and it has done a wonder. You get to use it twice a day, morning and evening, and it completely kind of changed my appearance and like made my eyes look awake, even if I really didn't feel awake. The other thing that I'm kind of addicted to is the microdermabrasion paste. So it is that little square box right there. It's a jar of a salt sugar scrub, but it completely makes your face feel so smooth. And everybody's like, well, if you're using a regimen, how do you use this? Well, they made it where you can wash your face 3 times a week with the microdermabrasion in place of your step 1 wash. And so you really, even after using it once, are completely glowing and transformed. And that jar I've had for 3 months now, and I'm about halfway done with it. You can use it on dry cracked heels, dry cracked elbows, anywhere you just feel dry, you can put it there. They have mineral peptides, which is kind of their version of what I call bare minerals, but is way, way, way better because it's got anti-aging peptides in it. It sits on top of the surface of the skin and doesn't soak into your pores or your fine lines. And so, and it almost just feels really lightweight and translucent. All I have on right now are peptides, a little bit of blush. I just realized I didn't even put on eye makeup. So I have peptides, blush, and my fake eyelashes on.
Well, you look beautiful.
Well, thank you. But I leave the house all the time with nothing on, and I don't scare people and act like I'm from the movie set. We have SPFs, we have daily body moisturizer, they have sunscreen, they have sunless foaming toner, which is award-winning. It doesn't make you orange, it doesn't streak, it's one of those, it doesn't smell. So it's really, really good. Basically, I'm addicted to it all. I'm a Rodan and Fields junkie, high problem. So those are the basic products and tools. There are 3 ways to purchase, because everybody's like, well, you told me about this. Now how do I get it? Well, there are 3 ways to buy. Hello. No, you're fine. So there are 3 ways to purchase. One is retail, which you pay full price. You have to pay shipping. The unfortunate thing about flat rate shipping is it's $13 in Texas, so it doesn't matter if you buy that with the eye cream or if you buy everything on this table, you're still going to pay $13. So it's really not the best way to go. They have something called a preferred customer, which you save 10% on all your products, and you get free shipping once a month. I think I left this out. All your products you're supposed to use morning and evening, and it's a 60-day supply. So a lot of things that you go buy from department stores or even over the counter, it's a 30-day supply. And so these are 60-day supplies being used twice a day. And so that's a preferred customer is 10% and free shipping. The last way to buy is as a consultant, which you don't have to sell to get the bigger discount. And so I really like to tell people about this way, because what you do is your business kit, and there are 3 different size business kits, so it's not like you have to buy the whole kit and caboodle, although that's really a fun thing to do. You get 50% off your business kit. So you get 50% off your products sitting on the table. All your future orders are 25% off, regardless of whether you decide to sell or not. They're not going to kick you out of the company. There are no catches, believe me. We call these people that just want the bigger discount face washers, so they don't have to have a monthly fee or anything like that. And so I have plenty of face washers on my team that just love the products, and then when they're ready to buy more, they buy more and get a 25% discount instead of 10. And so those are kind of the 3 ways to buy. So that's kind of all my song and dance for today. But I do want to answer any questions. I want y'all to come up here and kind of look and browse and play, and any other
Can you
questions.
show them some before and afters
Yeah.
for those that may
Yeah.
have?
Sure.
And then if you want
And
to,
then I'll
do the solution tool.
So the doctors, so I'm obviously not a dermatologist. Now,